Have you ever wanted to go plane spotting one of the biggest airports in the world for several hours before? Have you ever wanted to be a part of a plane spotting meetup? Have you ever wanted to go watch planes for hours and see so many planes that you've never seen before? Join me as we spend 6 hours plane spotting at Chicago O'Hare International Airport. From meeting dozens of aviation enthusiasts to seeing dozens of international airlines, this is going to be an incredible spotting outing. Without any further delay, let's dive into the highly anticipated Chicago O'Hare International Airport spotting vlog, everybody. Let's get started. Here we go, everybody. Let's get started with the Chicago O'Hare spotting vlog. Man, I've been so excited to make this. As you guys can tell, this has been something that I've been looking very forward to, and I'm just reliving the moment. As you guys can see editing this, I'm so excited, and I hope you guys are as well. We have a couple of items to talk about really quickly before we get into the plane spotting. I'll try to get there as soon as possible, but feel free to skip ahead a couple minutes if you guys would like to just go straight into the plane spotting, but just a couple of things that are applicable. So I will talk about those really quickly, and let's get started so we waste no further time. This is going to be an awesome video, everybody. I am so excited, and that's my first talking point. I was super excited for this. As you guys know, I haven't plane spotted at Chicago O'Hare in 5 years, so I'm really excited to see all these international planes. Of course, the British Airways A380, because yes, all the narrow bodies, and just get to meet up and spot with everybody, which was so exciting. This was so cool to get to meet up with so many fellow aviation enthusiasts to get to do this. As you guys may or may not know, Chicago O'Hare has an incredible spotting community, super special, a lot of great guys, and it was so cool to get to see all these guys, and it was just absolutely awesome. So I was so excited, and as you guys will see, my excitement continues throughout the full video because it was absolutely awesome. So I just let it up to the, or just kind of left it up to the Chicago spotters to tell me where the best place to go plane spotting was. This isn't my home turf, and I trusted them, and I just, as long as the lighting's good and as long as we get to see all the planes, that's what I'm talking about. So they ended up choosing the Dave & Buster's Garage, which is a great place for east and west flow. Absolutely love the location. I think the best part about it is you get to see both sides of all the traffic. It's so high up in the air, so you can get some great perspectives. You get to see a lot of T5, and I thought it was an awesome location. So that is where we're doing our plane spotting today. If you're ever in Chicago, this is one of the best spots for any flow, any time of the day. This spot is one of the best on the airport. I would argue that it might be the best. Highly recommended, great location, and thank you to the Chicago spotters for picking the best location because this was absolutely awesome. So I was so excited. I didn't even check the flight board. I was so excited. It's like, this is Chicago, man. We're going to see some awesome stuff. So I knew that great things were ahead, and I was super excited. So the format of how we're going to be doing this is typically, you guys know with my other spotting vlogs that I've done at Tulsa International Airport, typically I edit all the pictures. In this case, I took like 2,000 pictures over the span of like 6 hours. So to make it reasonable, I've decided that I'm going to show you guys all the pictures, and that kind of turns it into a video format anyways with me scrolling through them. So that's how we're going to look at them, and then of course we'll have video clips in between. So definitely expect those. Those will be really good, and I hope you guys are excited for that. So the format will work really well, and I hope you guys are good with that because I'll kind of show you guys how everything went together and just all the great pictures, and there was so many. So really excited for that, and I hope you guys are as well. And also just want to give a huge shout out to everybody that was there. All the handles will be on the screen at this time, so feel free to go check out all these guys. We'll obviously get to talk to some of them throughout this video, and it was just so much fun. So definitely go check all these guys out. Great guys, super nice. Really appreciate everybody coming. I will do some talking, but probably each and every one towards the end because I don't want to do it here because you guys are ready for the plane spotting. So one final thing, want to give a huge shout out to JJ Skippy and AS Aviation. They both produced awesome videos from this plane spotting event. Highly recommend checking those out. They were so fun, and I apologize to both of you guys for me talking over your guys' spotting clips. Hopefully it wasn't too obnoxious, but hopefully you guys were good with it nevertheless. So no further time to be wasted. Let's get started. I really hope you guys are excited. This is going to be a blast, and let's get into the Chicago O'Hare plane spotting vlog from June 24th, 2022. Let's get started, everybody. All right, everybody, taking it over to the Dave & Buster's parking garage. Do you guys want to say hi? What's up, everybody? AS, Ethan, yes sir. Going well right now. Very excited to make it over to plane spotting. First time proper spotting at O'Hare. It's going to be great. A little toplet right now, but it's going to get better. So we'll continue to walk over to Dave & Buster's, getting some real exercise. Here we go, boys. The walk over to the Dave & Buster's parking garage was most certainly a ton of fun, and I really enjoyed it. And I also got to see for the very first time my first 6-lane highway. I know that's crazy that I've never seen one of those before, and I was kind of dumbfounded to see it. I know it's a commonplace here in big towns, but man, that was really cool to say the least.
All right, everybody, welcome to the top of the Dave & Buster's garage. AS passing out stuff, being nice. Yes, absolutely. So beautiful spot up here. We're gonna get some great heavies. The sun continues to progress down, so it'll make the 10s really good. And 9s are still pretty good right now. So just got Lufthansa, and yeah, we'll continue to vlog it, and very fun.
Alrighty, everybody, let's get started. I am so excited for this, man. It's just absolutely incredible. I haven't done some big time spotting like this in a very long time, and I was so excited, man. This is absolutely incredible. Let's not even waste any further time. Let's just dive into it because, man, we saw so many planes, and these captures were just absolutely incredible. So hopefully you guys are good with this view. I think it looks pretty good. I hope you guys are excited to go through all this. It's kind of a hybrid of a video experience and a picture experience, so I think it was the best of both worlds for sure, and this is absolutely awesome. So with all that being said, let's get started because we have thousands of photos to go through, and we got to get started. So let's get started right here with this Continental Globe United 757-200. I've seen quite a few of these over the years, but I've never really got an elite shot of one, if that makes sense. So I got to see several of these at Chicago, so I was really glad to get to see these. Sorry, didn't mean to go that far ahead. I didn't get a ton of them, but it was really nice. The Cirrus clouds were in the backdrop. This was on the north side on runway 9. The 10s weren't that great lit yet, but the sun obviously was progressively going down, and it got much better, as you guys are going to see momentarily. So 9 was definitely good for right now, and I'm very glad it was. So that United 757 was absolutely awesome. And then we have, sorry, wrong way, the stunning Lufthansa Airbus A350-900 in the new livery. I was so glad to get to see multiple ones of these at Chicago, and this was a great example of one right here, as you can tell. Not sure exactly what the name of this one was, but man, just take a look at how pretty it was with the Cirrus clouds. That was awesome, man. So I was so glad to get to see that aircraft. What a pretty aircraft, and it looks super, super nice. Here's a really nice shot of T5 right here. You got all the international carriers right there, so you got some United. I believe that was the Starline 767 in front of you, which is really cool. ANA 2 777s in one shot. That's not an everyday occurrence, but they have a lot of flights here, so that was really cool. SAS is A330. We had a KLM Asia Boeing 777-200 that was about to take off. A Qatar Airbus 8, or sorry, this was the Boeing 777-300. Air France A350. Then in the very back, you can see a couple more tails, and then a really big tail, the British Airways Airbus A380 loading up too. So that was awesome. I'll try not to make this too long because I know we have so many pictures, but you guys know the drill. So there's a really cool double shot with ANA. That was awesome. There's a really good shot of the ANA 777, so that was awesome. And then we have a United Express CRJ 550 blasting out for GoChat. I'm sorry. That's exactly what happens with Chicago O'Hare spotting with 9s and 10s. As you guys can see, I was bouncing back and forth. So here's the 550. Then we have the Delta CRJ-900 right there too. So that was crazy, but man, I enjoyed it so much. So this Endeavor was probably out to like JFK or something, and that 550 was out to a regional jet destination, of course. Here's the United Airbus A320 service out to somewhere. It was cool to get to see all these mainline planes. We're going to see a lot of them, so just buckle up. And there's a 737-700, and the Cirrus clouds were really providing a really nice view back there. Obviously, it was a really hot day, so they were very high up there, but man, they look super, super good. They ended up dissipating, which I was glad to get the best of both worlds. We had the sun shining. That was what I cared about. And look at that bank, man. That is awesome. Get ready. Banks get much better than this. Here's a United CRJ-200. There's not too much to talk about with these besides they're everywhere. Take a look at this SkyWest one, though, with all that dirt in the back. I don't know exactly what you'd like to title that as, but man, that aircraft's most certainly seen better days, as you can clearly see. Here's a 737-900 looking super sharp. I got to fly 2 of these, and they're really nice airplanes. So glad to see that one going super strong right there. There was that one pull in the Dave & Buster's garage, but it made no difference, so that was fine. Finnair's Airbus A330-300 showed up from Helsinki, which was really cool. I really like Finnair and what they're doing, so it was very cool to get to see their Airbus A330 for the very first time. I've seen a couple of their other airplanes, but never the 330, so this was really cool. There's the Chicago skyline, as you can see, looking stunning right there. Just take a look at all those buildings in one, man. That is a really cool view from the Dave & Buster's garage, and we end up utilizing that to our advantage in the upcoming shots. This might be my first best picture United 737 MAX 9 as far as I'm aware. I've never really spotted one properly, and I honestly, just like many of these other aircraft as you were going to see through this video, completely forgot that I saw this. So here's the United 737-900, or MAX 9, excuse me. It's really cool to get to see one of these. I really like the Dreamliner livery that they put on here. It looks really nice. So that is a really good shot right there. Camera went out of focus every now and then, but it's all good. American 737s were everywhere at O'Hare, and this is a prime example right here. This guy was probably out to Dallas-Fort Worth or so, or I'm just taking a guess. I have no idea, excuse me. Here's another 737-800 for United. Man, I wanted to spot United so bad on this trip. I've seen a lot of American, I've seen a lot of Delta. Now I've seen more than enough United, and I most certainly would go back and do it any day because their fleet's very diverse, in my opinion, one of the most diverse in the United States, and they have so many different liveries and aircraft types that it makes it so fun. So that is it for that. We have a clip to dive into, so we'll dive in that, and then we'll be back in the pictures.
I swear I just heard me.
Alrighty, boys, here comes the Qatar 777-300ER over to the hard stand. AS flew this aircraft in 2013, almost 10 years ago. Wowzers. Look at this lineup, gentlemen. We got 338 services somewhere in the back. And there it is, the Qatar. Look at that tug on that bad boy. Oh my.
Sexy beast right there. I still say that.
And of course you have a
717 in the
Delta.
back.
Yeah, of course you have the Delta 717 that just touched down on 10. There's the fin air, I think. Oh yeah, we have to get a shot with this RJ taking off, dude. Like, come on, bro. Come on now.
That touchdown, is that a Max? No, that's a regular aircraft. Oh, it's almost a touchdown.
Dang, he probably took like 8,000 feet, man.
Usually that thing takes
Another classic. All of the out-of-town spotters filming that, all the in-town spotters letting it pass. Oh, dang, I wish the lighting would have been good right there, but it's okay.
Actually, bank shots are some of my favorites. So I always like
What 787 is that?
Which one?
The one? No, the one landing.
American? I can't see. It's
American?
really far out. I
Yeah,
can't
American.
see. All right, favorite O'Hare heavy.
Probably the Aer Lingus Safety 30s.
Okay.
Or
Anything, yeah.
Delta 777.
Okay. Now, I was just asking, what was your favorite ORD heavy?
Oh.
Aircraft. International. What?
MD-11.
MD-11 for who? Kalen?
What's your line? I haven't seen a lot of TVS probably.
Okay. AS?
It's a tough one. In the past, definitely the KLM 747. And currently, Qatar 777.
There it is. For myself, I would say everything, but
American 74.
oh, A&A's pushing back. There it is.
ACS is on its way.
Great. So now we have
Alrighty, everybody, back into the pictures we go. We got some really good ones, and as you guys can see, starting right here with the Qatar Boeing 777-300ER. This is such a cool aircraft. AS Aviation got to fly this exact tail number, I believe, is Alpha November Oscar in 2013, which is really cool. So really cool to get to see Qatar's presence here at Chicago O'Hare. They are a great airline, and I really like what they have going here. So of course, this guy was getting towed over since he had a little bit of an intermission between his flight to and from Doha, of course. This United 737-800 was blasting off. A really nice aircraft right there. It looks really good. Lots of Continental globes still, surprisingly, despite the Evo Blue livery being out for now 3 years, so pretty impressive. And there was the Embraer 175. This is a SkyWest registration, so cool to get to see that. Lots of, well, SkyWest is primary for 175s here, I suppose, actually, but there are a couple Mesa ones too, so. I'm sorry, it was Bravo Alpha Oscar. That was it, not Alpha. I was thinking of their A350s, so my bad on that. But yeah, that Qatar is looking really good. Southwest making their presence known. Sorry if that was a little out of the frame. I have it cropped. But there is the 737-700. Really cool to get to see Southwest's extended presence now at Chicago O'Hare. I think they've done really well with it. So that's been a blast to see. Here's United Airlines' Airbus A319, one of many still in the Continental Globe colors. I hope to try one of these aircraft. They seem really cool. And Scandinavian's Airbus A330-300 was pushing back with service out to, I'm not sure which one was going, because I believe they have the two services. I apologize, so sorry. Looking really nice. Speaking of really nice, I believe this is my first time catching United Airlines Airbus A320 in the Evo Blue colors. This is a stunning looking airplane. I really like the contrast between just the length of how long the aircraft is and just the tail, and then the really cool engine cowling piece with the Evo Blue. That's kind of cool. So, and also I apologize, my camera went out of focus more times than not, so this is why you guys don't get to see the ugly of plane spotting. So really nice. This is American Airlines 737 rocketing out with service out somewhere. Sorry guys, I probably should have kept information, but the pictures speak for themselves. Let's come on now. So looking really good. This United Airlines 787-10 was getting towed over. I love these 787-10s. It was really cool to get to see it for United, KLM, and a few other airlines. I really like those. Those are really cool. And here's the United Airlines 737 MAX 9 Evo Blue livery. And this is, I've seen a couple of these in different locations with the Evo Blue livery, but not that previous Continental Globe livery. So it's very cool to get to see this. Beautiful airplane, and it was so cool to get to fly the MAX 8. That was really nice as well. And here goes the 787-10, and of course you got the EVA Air Cargo 777 freighter in the back. I believe we got to see that later on, so that was awesome. American Airlines 787-9 also taxiing. This is a very special aircraft that I got to catch because I'll explain more here in a moment. But here's United Airlines' Boeing 777-200ER November 777 Uniform Alpha, the first ever delivered 777 to United Airlines, and I believe to any airline in general. I actually got to fly this aircraft the next day, November 777 Uniform Alpha, on the exact same route from Chicago to Denver, where this aircraft was going. So pretty funny. Stay on the lookout for Tripport. My first ever wide body was very sentimental, to say the least. Southwest's split Scimitar 737 also was on the way out during that time. Look at that, and that was a pretty good shot. That aircraft was probably like 5 or 6 miles away. That was very impressive for that lens. Air Canada's Embraer 175 sliding into the mess. This guy coming in probably from Toronto or Montreal. And then we have the 737-900 or 800, excuse me, for United right here, and not necessarily a mess, but just into the action, I should say. There was the kind of the pictures were a mess, and there was a lot of sloppiness in the actual airport. But in terms of what we're seeing, this is action loaded. Here's United CRJ200. This is probably a SkyWest tail number, couldn't see it, but a little fuzzy, but all good. Metra's train had a line right here in Rosemont, so here's a really cool car from them. I don't know too much about these guys, but they seem really cool. Man, this actually turned out a lot better than I thought. I knew I got this shot, but I did not know it turned out so well. This is Royal Jordanian's Boeing 787-8 coming in from, I'm trying to think of what their city's called. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting what it's called. But nevertheless, super cool to get to see this. This is my first time seeing Royal Jordanian, and this was an honor to get to see them. I know Jim and I just made the 787 model, so I'd love to get that in the future. That is really cool. Here's Metra's train again. I'd really like to try to train one day, maybe Amtrak's Heartland Flyer in the Oklahoma City to Fort Worth train, maybe. But really cool to see Royal Jordanian's aircraft. That's awesome. Here's another ANA 777. Really cool to get to see those aircraft going super strong. And here we go with the international rush in the afternoon. This is perhaps one of the best plane spotting times at Chicago here International Airport. We're just about to have a full-on army of international carriers coming out here, and this is so exciting. So here we go. We already had Lufthansa, and now we have Scandinavian's Airbus A330-300. This guy was off to probably Copenhagen, excuse me if I had to guess. But man, those Cirrus clouds made for a nice backdrop, and I believe those are General Electric engines on those. Could be wrong on that. They made a really nice sound on that. That was super nice. I wish I would have did more filming, but JJ Skippy's and AS Aviation's videos have that connotation for that. So lesson learned there, to say the least. But man, at least the pictures turned out great. Take a look at those. And there comes the bank, boys. This bank, this is one of the coolest parts about O'Hare, is this bank. Take a look at that. Wow. Sorry if it's going out of the frame a little bit. It was really far away, but take a look at that. And it got better as the sun came down. Here's ANA taxiing out the American Airlines 787, and then we have a United A319. Crappy shots, but it's always cool to get to capture it no matter what. China Cargo 777 freighter was also very cool. I think we get a better one of that here in a little bit. The Delta Airlines A220 taking off. AS recently got to experience this aircraft, so highly recommend checking out that trip port. Here's a really cool catch with Alaska Airlines' 737-900 without winglets. O'Hare was always loaded, and even with small gems like this. I did get to see an old livery one in Dallas 6 years ago or so, 2015 or 16, so it's really cool to get to see that again, and this too. Swiss Airways' Airbus A340-300 making the appearance from Zurich. They had 2 daily flights, and it was really cool to get to see that. That was a beautiful aircraft, to say the least. Here's United Airlines' Boeing 787-8. I've not got to ever see a ton of these, so it was really cool to get to see a few of these, especially in the old livery before those are gone. This guy's service out to somewhere, probably an international destination of sorts. Very nice. And the bank coming for him on the other side too. Very nice. United Airlines A320 right there, looking good. Lots of mainline. Here's EVA Air Cargo's aircraft taxiing out, and we got an American and United to compliment that. Really cool to get to see United Airlines 767-300 as well. This was really nice. I love the United Airlines 767. I don't get to see them a lot, so this is really cool. Irish also got a really good shot with me taking a picture of this aircraft, so thank you, Irish. I very much appreciate it, and that's coming on the screen now for you guys to see. So thank you, Irish. I really appreciate it. Cirrus clouds still holding strong despite the temperature starting to drop off, so those are about to start dissipating soon. Sorry for all the fuzzy shots, man. There were so many, but here's United's Embraer 175 for SkyWest taking off. Lots of those. And here's a really cool seeing double with the Air China Cargo in the United Airlines 787-10, I believe. This one, we saw a lot of 787s. This was a prime example. We got a quick bank out of this guy going out somewhere. KLM Asia's Boeing 777-200ER is the next aircraft up for our international push, along with American and United's huge push. This aircraft was service out to Amsterdam. Really cool to see KLM's Asia livery. I've never seen the Asia livery before, so this is really cool. This is Papa Hotel Bravo Quebec Lima, and the pole getting the better of it. But I really like that blue. It is such a pretty livery, and it was so cool. And take a look at that bank. Wow, that is stupendous, to say the least, man. That is awesome. Look at that lighting. It got so much better. It was starting to get really good, to say the least. Sorry, my computer got a little slow there. There are a lot of images. This is a lot of gigabytes that's going through, so let's bear with it as we can take a more in-depth look at the banking shot for the moment. Oh, look at that United 787 on the bank. That's impressive. Take a look at that reflection. Wow. SkyWest House livery CRJ-700. I ended up getting a picture of 4 of these in one shot. So be sure to stay tuned for the upcoming Chicago spotting video in the terminal where we talk about that. That was just crazy to say the least. I think there's only like 5 of them. So to get 4 of them literally all next part to each other at Chicago was literally a one-of-a-kind experience. So be sure to stay on the lookout for that. A CFM 819, a former Frontier aircraft for American by the prefix of X-Ray Foxtrot. That was really cool to get to see. And here's Austrian's 60-year special livery. This is really, really cool to get to see. I really like their livery on this aircraft. It looks really nice. This is my first time seeing an Austrian aircraft in a very long time. I think I possibly may have saw them in Los Angeles about 7 years ago or so. But it's really cool to get to see this aircraft. Obviously, he was heading back over that way to Europe. And then we have American Airlines' 787-8 product. This guy was taken off with the Alpha Lima tail number 803. Probably have seen that aircraft, but it was great to get to see it at O'Hare because it is beautiful, as you guys can see by that stunning wing flex right there on the Boeing 787. So American or United heavies, you guys let me know. Here's Eva Air's Cargo's Boeing 777. This was very cool to get to see, considering that I've seen a few Eva aircraft here and there. This was a great compliment to my collection. This is definitely a model I'd like to get. I think these fly Dallas some, and it's a pretty popular option in the US for international cargo carriers. So that is a really cool plane, and take a look at that bank. I'm sorry, my lens is really heavy, so it's really hard to get it dead center on the frame. But when it does, as you guys can see, some of these are out of focus, but these are a little bit better. It is really good to say the least. Sorry, I get the scrolling and it just gets a little out of sync. There's another Metro train right there. Very nice to see that. That is really nice. Very cool station, to say the least. And here's Air China Cargo's 777 freighter product. This one I don't think is as popular throughout the United States, but it is sure a good-looking aircraft with the gray underbelly and then the really cool cargo cursive titles. That is really cool on Air China Cargo's aircraft. That was probably heading back to Beijing or somewhere in that region, to say the least. So very nice. Or possibly Anchorage, probably. I should have known better than that. American Airlines' Airbus A321 with IAE engines was making its appearance, which was very nice. And I think that, okay, I didn't know if that was the last shot because my computer's getting a little slow here. Again, I put like 300 pictures on this preview, so it is taking its sweet time, to say the least. But I'm still scrolling. Yeah, I think that is the end of this round of pictures. So now we have some video clips to take a look at. The international push continues. Let's dive into those details.
Hey, what are your thoughts on this Lufthansa 748?
Oh, it never gets old. It's our only passenger 747, so
You missing the 400s right now?
I'm missing them so much. British Airways and KLM, I love them so
yes,
much.
dude, yes.
So it's not the
I'm
same.
trying to think if anybody else threw the 747.
Oh, hey, but he's rolling right now.
Oh, okay. Quick side intermission for 748. Hey, get ready for the 748, guys. Yes. Frankfurt, right? Frankfurt or Munich? Yeah. Guys, we got an American. Oh, yeah, baby. Old livery, too.
Wow.
Oh, look at that jello. That was nice. Some elite heat haze, but all good. Surprised they sent him 9 left. Oh, there's AS head. Ouch. You're good, AS. Don't worry. And there's the bank. Oh, thanks, Alpine. I appreciate that.
Huh?
You ran right in front of my camera.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, look at the underbelly. That's nice. Well, I got 5 batteries for the T6i stuff, but I don't have 5 batteries, unfortunately, for the original series. Or I would let you use 600. It's a unit, man. $1,000 gets you far.
Ooh,
in there.
They might put Etihad next to them too. That's what
Maybe
they always line up all the Middle Easterns next to one another.
we can go on the way back. Yeah.
What's the legality of going on that dirt pile right there?
The heavy push continues with the Lufthansa Boeing 747-8. This was super cool. I've not seen a 747-8 in a very long time, and as you guys can tell, this spotting outing just was knocking box after box after box. Trust me, my checklist of spotting items is super long, but man, this definitely knocked out a lot of them, so I was really happy about that. So Delta Alpha Bravo Yankee Mike was a great aircraft, as my computer that I spent $2,000 on cannot load some raw files, which kind of makes me mad. But nevertheless, we are still making it happen, so very nice. Then that bank was very impressive too. Really, oh, look at the flaps on that too. That's some impressive flaps for 747-8. Let me know in the comments if you've been on 747-8. I'd like to hear. Really cool. I think this was one of Cape Air's new aircraft. I'm not exactly what it was, but it looks really nice. So that was really cool to get to see that. Sorry about the focus. Lufthansa out and about. This was the Frankfurt flight, I believe, but may have been Munich. And as you guys can tell, the international lineup was changing a lot. So the gate that ANA was at, now American has their 787 there. Royal Jordanians came in, Finnair, we have another American. We still have the Starline 763 and the Aer Lingus A330. Very excited for that. That was really cool. Here comes the Austrian 777, as we saw in the video. That was really cool. You guys heard those amazing General Electric engines, and they most certainly came out very nicely. So beautiful aircraft right here. I really like their 60-year livery. This is really nice, and it was cool to finally get some really good shots of Austrian. Another box checked. Really, really happy. And you can also see the servals, or as however that's pronounced, on the bottom of the fuselage right there. And that's another cool thing about this spot is for East Flow, which is what we're in right now, as you guys can tell, we got a lot of really cool takeoff shots. But in West Flow, when you guys will see landings, those are also really cool as well. JJ Skippy uploaded a great video at the Dave & Buster's parking garage with the West Flow, which was very nice. So definitely feel free to check that out. That was really cool. Here's the Emirates Boeing 777-300ER. This guy, of course, making that turnaround out to Dubai, and he was kind of hanging out till it was time for him to leave. So it was really cool to get to see that taxiing in. And also another really neat catch. This is a GCM Air Cargo A330-200 freighter. Never have heard of this airline until then, but as you can see, the really cool underbelly right there in the nose landing gear area, which is really cool. Kind of like their logo. Very cool airline, and that was very unique to get to see, to say the least. So I was really happy to get to see that, as my computer has more issues. But hey, we're going to make it count. So that was a good shot to pause on anyways, I suppose. Emirates looking really nice. Couple Sears clouds getting the better of it, but if this was the worst that happens, I cannot complain. Southwest is 737-700 heading out. They have a lot of great flights. Denver, Las Vegas. I think they have Orlando, Houston, Dallas, you name it. They have it all. As my computer, I'm sorry guys, it is not very impressive. Another new catch for me. This is the United Star Line 767-300ER. I got to see the 777 in Houston, so it was really cool to get to see the 767 here. Really nice. Not the best frame, of course, but hey, I got to see it. Really, really cool. Was happy to see it. Not many Envoy 145s yet. We weren't quite to their push, so here's one of them, and it looks like I kind of failed on getting a shot of that, but it happened. I did not fail on getting a shot of this Aer Lingus Airbus A330-300 with service out to Dublin. Really cool to get to see this aircraft. Echo India Kilo. I love Aer Lingus. I got to see their old A330-200 here previously, and I've got to see them a little bit over the years, so it's very nice to get to see their new livery A330-300, and I really like it. As you guys know, with some Irish heritage myself, this livery and airline means so much to me, and I really would like to enhance that going forward. So Aer Lingus always has a very special place in my heart, and I definitely hope to try, and maybe they can be my first international carrier sometime. We'll have to see. But as you guys can see, those banking shots, those I'm not trying to brag, but man, they are super nice. I cannot complain with those. Those are really good. So it was so cool to get to see Aer Lingus in their full-fledged. And if you're wondering what camera lens to buy, the Sigma 150x600 will provide opportunities like this that no other camera lens will provide. So this is why I highly recommend anybody asking for a camera lens. Sigma 150x600 contemporary gets the job done, to say the least. As you can see, incredible. Here's a SkyWest CRJ700. They are very prominent at O'Hare for American, and another Southwest 737 with splits. They invaded, and T5 has several of them. So very unique situation, to say the least. This was such a special moment right here, to say the least. This was really, really cool. So right here we have Etihad's Boeing 787-9 coming in from Abu Dhabi, of course. And it's really cool because I did not realize how cool Etihad's livery was until I saw it for the very first time here in a very long time. I don't think I've ever caught a new livery aircraft for them. I think I've caught some of their old livery stuff. Los Angeles comes to mind, and maybe once or twice at Dallas. But this was really cool to get to see Etihad, and they definitely were super, super special. I really like their livery, and they just really stand stands out to me. I hope to get an Etihad model soon just to represent this amazing moment, and I would really like to see them even more in the future because Etihad seems like a really cool airline, and their livery, in my opinion, is very underrated. Sure, it's not as good as the previous liveries, and that's pretty debatable topic, but I would agree with that claim. But I think that their new livery is still really cool, and it definitely made me fall in love with Etihad from, of course, that Middle East area. So really cool airline. I hope to get a model of them soon, and it's just very special. That shot was really cool. Let's just go back to that. That's really nice. Very standout airline, a huge box checked, and a new airline for me to fall in love with. And of course, you have the darn Sun Country in the background. O'Hare's loaded, to say the least. Envoy's starting to get a push, and here comes an Envoy 145 right there. And then Iberia's Airbus A330-200 taken, or this is a 300, I think, actually. Excuse me, Echo Charlie Lima Yankee Foxtrot service out to Madrid in Spain. This is really cool to get to see as well. Iberia is another awesome airline that I've been fortunate enough to get to capture at O'Hare over the years, especially back when they had the A340-600 on this service. But the A330 is definitely an awesome compliment to it, and a great, I don't want to use the word replacement, but it's kind of what it's been. So really nice. American 787 poor shot, and we were out of focus multiple times. I apologize, but here's JetBlue's blue, I can't see what that says on blue Migo, I think, Embraer Ear J-190 with the Tardantel. This is a beautiful looking aircraft, very unique service, of course. JetBlue having the 190s to Boston JFK, yet they could have some mainline, but pretty cool. They had the 220s previously. Sad I didn't get to see one, but it's okay. American 737-800 taking off, plenty of these. I can't say much more than that, and there was an Envoy 175 as well making service right there. Primary 737 was really nice to see, and another Envoy. I should have took more pictures because some of these came out uneditable, so unfortunate. And really cool to get to see Spirit's Airbus A319. This guy had service to somewhere, but Spirit A319, huge to get to catch this as these may be getting retired in the future. So that was very nice to get to see that, and I was really glad to get to see that right there. Alrighty, back into some video clips we go. Or never mind, I guess we have some more pictures. Here's because I ended on a Spirit 145. Or sorry, A319, but these American 145s, I guess I wasn't quite done. I thought because there was two Spirit A319s, I guess. So really cool to get to see two of them. Sorry about that. Here we have more Envoy 145s. Really cool to get to see these. That Juliet Alpha is a Envoy one. I thought there was some Piedmonts in here. It probably is, but the American Eagle push began, and we are sure seeing it right here, as you guys can see. So plenty of them. Maybe it was this A319. Was this the final one is the question. Okay, now I'm scrolling backwards. Now I'm going the wrong way. I apologize. Sorry, guys. Okay, yeah, I just went the wrong way. That's why I got messed up. Okay, whoa, computer. You're going way too far. This is way too good of a material to be going that fast over. Okay, here's the American Eagle number 145. That's a classic mess up. Okay, slowly but surely, we're going to make it to our next frame. With my computer being slow again. I am so sorry. But yeah, American's 145 looks really good. There's a Spirit A320 contrailing over. Not sure what the route was, but that was kind of cool to get to see from overhead. Weather was so good, man. It was so nice. Lot 787. So glad to get to see Lot again. I got to see a lot of their Dash 8s when I was here previously. Now we got to see their Dash 9s coming in. So beautiful looking aircraft. The underbelly also really cool. So that was a very unique angle right there. That's really nice. I was really glad to get to see that. Turkish's 777 made its service in from Istanbul. So that was really cool to get to see, even though the shot was awful. And here's the Metro train. Oliver Eddie or something like that. Very cool. I think AS Aviation actually has an in-scale aircraft or train of this, so that's really cool to get to see that. WestJet's Dash 8. This is quite unique that I got to see that, considering that this service is now done. That was quite unique at this airport. You know, I've seen these before, so it's not like I've never seen one of these somehow, but the fact that it was at Chicago before the service ended was quite abnormal to say the least, but that was still really cool. So WestJet's Dash 8 came over the park with not only the Etihad 787-9, not only the Qatar 777-300, but also the Emirates 777. So now we had all four of those guys, so that was so nice. There's Scandinavian's aircraft landing in right there, really nice. And there's a really nice lineup of the international lineup along with that WestJet parking. Next aircraft up was a heavy, I think, wasn't it? No, just an American 737, my bad. So American 737 blasting off. There's another one right there. And there's an A319 with sharklets. I think that may have been the only one of the day, 9012. I've seen that one multiple times. So glad to get to see that aircraft here at Chicago. This was really cool to get to see this Delta 717 literally fly right overhead. This guy, I think, was heading out to Atlanta or Detroit, but it was really cool to get to see this thing go right overhead. Sorry, my computer is being slow, but this was quite a unique angle. Take a look at that. Out of all aircraft to do this, it was really cool to see 717. Not only that, but this is actually the first built 717, November 717 Juliet Lima. So quite a unique situation to say the least with this frame, but man, that was so cool. You can see how hard they worked that 717. What a beautiful aircraft and some awesome lighting. That was stunning to say the least. So very cool. A little overexposed on some of those, but hey, I don't know what the focus was. It got a little out of focus multiple times, but maybe I was being a little rough on my holding skills with it. So nevertheless, all good. Here's American's 175, another crappy one-on shot. I indeed learned from that. And here's the United Sky West Emperor 175, service out somewhere. Okay, there's a Republic 175. Really cool. Never mind, this is an Envoy 170. I apologize. I'm a little too fast on that too. November 763 Charlie Charlie. First time catching one of these, I believe. Really cool because I've only seen this one, and they only have 6 of them. So very happy you get to see that for Envoy. Another American 737. They continue to work, and a primer 737 to complement that. Look how dirty the underneath is. Man, that's really dirty for Primair. Come on, spin, spin, spin. That might be the last. Yeah, that was like, no way. Air Canada's toothpaste Airbus A320 looks so good. Charlie Golf, Kilo, Oscar, Echo, and I can't control the scroll, so there we go. Really, really nice. I need to go back to that because that is pretty. Take a look at toothpaste. I got to see a lot of these on this trip somehow, and this was another great one to add to my collection. It's been a long time, and they still have quite a few of these, so I was really happy to get to see the toothpaste A320. And then following that, we had an RJ of sorts, I believe. If my computer will load, please. Come on. Paid way too much money for this to happen. Yeah, or never mind, not an RJ, but an Alaska 737-900 service out to Seattle or Portland. That was really nice to get to see, and I very much enjoyed that. There's another Envoy 175 blasting off, and another SkyWest CRJ 700. So the RJ is taking over until the American Airlines 787-8 comes in to invade November 814 Alpha Alpha. Stunning aircraft. I love the wing flex, and this was such a cool perspective to get to see multiple Dreamliners. And a lot of Uniteds on the north side, but that's obviously because T1's up there on the closer to those runways rather than 10s are kind of closer to T5 and T3, where American does their operations and the BAA 380s taxing out for runway 10 center. Oh man, get ready for this video. This is going to be a unit, but there's a sneak peek. American 737 blasting off, looking sharp, and another 737 blasting off because yes, finally a nice shot of this Envoy 145. I guess it turned heading north somehow, or south, excuse me. So that was a really quick turn, but that was really cool. They rarely did that. So out of all planes, it's nice that Envoy did it, but I wish it would have been like a heavy or something. But still very cool to get to see it in that connotation, to say the least. Very nice. A couple Sears back there. There's the Envoy 175 and another one because they are everywhere at O'Hare, and another ANA making it in on the 777-300. So I've most certainly fulfilled that, catching those at O'Hare, to say the least. Another IAE A321 makes it in. There's a few of these at O'Hare, but you're definitely going to see more 737s. I think we may have saw one Neo and a few Maxes. There's definitely Maxes in this spotting session. I think we may have saw one Neo, but computer's got to spin because these are big files, but I'm very thankful to be able to produce this content for you guys. So here's the Air Wisconsin CRJ-200 right here. I'm going to be really eager to see how long these have left. So I've definitely seen a lot of these, but I will say this, it doesn't ever get old to see these. So yes, that's controversial, but they are cool. ANA's 777 making it in, and a Spirit A320 making it out, looking sharp. Computer's being slow once again. I apologize, but really cool to get to see a fence tip Spirit. So that was nice. And my computer is, I may have to load them in smaller intervals next time because this is, okay, it was this A320 that was the last shot, I think. And yes, okay, this was the last shot finally. I apologize, that took forever. But here's the last aircraft. Really cool to get to see this. Very, very nice. Now we have some video clips. Sorry if this is taking so long, but you guys have wanted this content, and I've wanted to go thorough on it because this was a bunch of aircraft. What can I say? So let's dive into our next aircraft, shall we? British Airways A380 to get going already. We got any thoughts, gentlemen? Disappointed? Come on now. I know it takes forever to board 400 people, but I just want to see it, man. The lighting's very good right now, as we can see.
Well, I think it's part of that, that passport system.
Yeah, I think that's what Irish was talking to some of his ramp buddies, and that was a claim. So maybe that's the reason. But this airport is insane after all, so anything's possible. American 738, maybe. Yeah. They don't stop, man. They keep going. I would love to see a landing onto 22 left. That would be insane from right here, dude. It would probably be like right there. Whenever you're ready.
All right. Hello, guys. Super excited to be out here. I'm ACS777X and Instagram ACS777X. That's Aviation. And yeah, I'm super glad I was a moderator for the guy you're watching right now for a while now. I'm super happy to be out here watching planes with you guys.
Absolutely. I really hope I really hope that you could start uploading again sometime.
I know,
that'd be nice.
yeah, I've just been busy.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Well, we're very proud of ACS's efforts, and we're very excited for what's to come. It's so great to get to meet ACS here at Chicago. And
I just can't believe I'm with
yes, absolutely
you
incredible.
and AS right there.
Yes, AS is working, man.
legend.
He's working.
Everyone else here
Absolutely.
is-
Yes. The BA380 is pushed back, and we're currently waiting. Very excited.
I was hoping they would have at least one Gemini BA380 here.
Yeah,
That's what
they had like
they didn't have
25 Emirates, but no British Airlines. AS, you ready for this? BA380.
I'm ready for it.
Have you seen one? I'm trying to remember.
I just saw it on the tour.
Okay, yeah,
But before that, I mean, I've seen it a lot, but I haven't gotten any good video of it.
well, this is
today.
going to be a great opportunity. Take a look at that. Alpine, any thoughts here?
This is awesome.
Ethan?
This is amazing. I've never seen so many planes.
Yes, and now we got the Spirit 321.
I've been on. That just, what's that? That puts the icing on the cake.
Yeah, we have seen all three. Yellow Wi-Fi box as well.
Drives out there, Matt.
Oh yeah, the CR2, baby. It's taking 2-2 left. Yes, sir. Southwest Heart livery for anybody interested. Southwest Heart livery, BA350 overhead deck right there. Yeah, baby. That was a nice contrail. Little backlit, but that's okay. Yeah, baby.
She's rolling.
You got visual. 12 o'clock. Oh man, baby. Wow. There comes the bank. Here comes the bank. What a plane am I, right, ACS?
I really wanted one to 200 scale.
Yeah, there was one at Airliners for $300 today.
I really wanted one to 200 scale version.
Oh my goodness, everybody. We have some incredible shots to take a look at here. You guys saw those videos. My goodness, that was incredible to put together from behind the screen. That was insane. So we have so many to dive into. You guys already know the drill. Let's get started. This Spirit Airlines Airbus A321, as you guys saw in the video, is rocketing off. What a pretty aircraft this is. I really like the yellow Wi-Fi box. That was very cool. And 2-2 left ops were beginning with the United Express CRJ200 for Air Wisconsin taking off. So quite a unique view to say the least. Here's a nice view, an American taxiing over as well. Very unique frame, really cool. Another Southwest taking it off, and the British Airways 787-10 coming in on that second daily service from London Heathrow. Really cool to get to see that, as you can tell. Beautiful aircraft and really good shots considering how far it was. That was nice. Here's a Republic Embraer 170. We didn't see a ton of these, so it was really cool to finally get to see one. And how about the Stars and Bars United Airlines Airbus A320 soaring in? This was really cool to see. We'll be seeing this later in the video as well, so definitely stay tuned for that. Very, very nice. Really cool aircraft right there. And I apologize, my computer's getting slow again because it just cannot handle so many pictures. I'm sorry, guys. Next up, a really cool seeing, I guess, 5-shot, if you want to call it this. United CRJ 200, an American Airlines 787-9, and an Air China Cargo 747. We got great shots of all these guys taking off, especially that Air China Cargo. There was a United 77 flying right over as well. That was really cool because they kind of do, I guess, a teardrop technically entry or whatever you would want to call that into the downwind. So really cool. WestJet once again looking nice, and seeing double with the United despite the sun was literally the reflection at that angle just killed it, but really nice. There's the Air China Cargo as well. A United 737-900 rocketing out, and I love Air China Cargo so much. It was so cool to get to see him once again at Chicago and get some phenomenal shots because they are everywhere, and I just really like Air China Cargo. United Airlines Airbus A320 was taken out. Take a look at that tail. Quite interesting right here, as you guys can see. Quite a nice shot right there. And here's Qatar's Boeing 777-300 Bravo Alpha Oscar taking it back over to the terminal very quickly after a quick about an hour sit. It was about an hour and a half tops. So nice to see that. And there's United 767-300. It was tough not to get a nicer shot about that, but here's an American A320 make up for it. And then the ANA Boeing 777-300ER rocketing out with service out to Tokyo. Beautiful airplane, as you guys can see. This thing is just super, super nice. From both shades of blue to the gray underbelly. That's just a stunning aircraft, and I hope a good one model gets made of one in the 400 scale sometime, because I've seen several of these, and I think it would only be right to pick this up in the future sometime. Here's Qatar's 777-300 once again, and O'Hare was getting busy. You guys can see all these United planes. There's a 767, as you guys can see. Here's their Boeing 787-9, I believe this is, rocketing out with service out to. This is when the Europe push really starts to get going for United, so this is a prime example of that right here. Really, really cool, and as you can see, the runway 9s were really starting to get backlit at this point, but it was so worth it for runway 10s. You got an American 320 rocketing down there, and as you guys can see, a really nice design here with runway 22 left. It was such a cool angle from the Dave & Buster's garage. I hope that I get to come back maybe one day and get to see the aircraft landing right overhead. That rarely happens, but it's really cool when it is, excuse me. And the Wi-Fi sock, or not the Wi-Fi sock, the wind sock looking really good too. I apologize. Here's that Air France Airbus A350 rocketing out for Tokyo, or sorry, wrong place. Paris Charles de Gaulle. Beautiful livery right here. Such a stunning aircraft, and I really hope to try this one sometime. This is a beautiful plane. I'm glad they're flying these to Chicago. Really, really nice right there. Very, very cool with the Cirrus clouds and all those details. British Airways 787-10 landed, and then you got the United 320 and the British Airways Airbus A380-800. This was so cool to see. I've seen these in Los Angeles, and I think I may have saw a couple every now and then, but I'm pretty sure this was by far the most sentimental attachment. Not to mention this really cool seeing double shot with their Boeing 787-10 landing in. Granted, it's not the coolest lighting shot, but it's still really cool to see two British Airways aircraft. One leaves and then the other one goes out, and this flight was delayed, so technically that doesn't happen every day, but it was really, really cool to get to see these in both frames. So definitely an underrated aspect of this incredible moment, to say the least. Really cool to see Speedbird in its finest position. I believe this was 193 or 195. It was one of those two. What a stunner, man. I mean, this is just so cool to get to see this up close and personal. What a stunning airplane, man. You guys heard the engines on that video, and you guys probably saw JJ Skippy and Aviation's better video clips of this. This is just, wow. This is so cool right here. Just lovely. Take a look at that shot right there. I'm trying to, hopefully the crop's okay. Absolutely incredible moment. The double decker. I've not seen A380 in a long time. Probably Qantas at Dallas was the last time. So to get to see this here at Chicago was just so cool. And this was most certainly one of the biggest highlights. You guys are seeing this right now. Take a look at how big it is, man. That is so cool. And then the bank was just unbelievable. I'm so fortunate at the Sigma 150x600 because, as you guys can tell, and I'll zoom in here on one of these good ones here in just a moment. Let's go with not that one, but let's go. Or you guys are probably getting a pretty good view of it. I forgot this is cropped in by a 16:9. It is really, really nice, man. That is impressive. Take a look at that bank. Just the camera did a really good job ultimately, and I'm very impressed. And then this is a really cool shot of I think that was the 320 that took off right behind it. It's quite a unique shot right there with the British Airways A380. That was quite cool. And just, man, what a unit. An absolute facility to say the least, and this thing was just so nice. And there it goes back off to London Heathrow. Just want to leave that there real quick and just respect how incredible the British Airways A380 is. What an incredible aircraft and just such a cool moment. I'm so fortunate that we were able to see this, and just such a pretty plane. Thank you, British Airways, so much for sending this to Chicago. Everybody very much appreciated it, and it's just such a nice aircraft. And then we have the Khalida 747-400 taking off on runway 9. This guy was off to probably, I don't know, maybe Anchorage or so, somewhere in there. So really nice to get to see this aircraft. I would love the engine shell too, right there. Nice, simple livery to say the least, and it's never old to see a 747-400. Very, very nice. I love the 747. And speaking of 747, China Airlines Cargo was next, and it was so cool. I've got some pretty good shots of these guys in the past, but getting to see it once again was just so cool. This is such a beautiful plane right here. I most certainly hope to get a model of one sometime. What a pretty aircraft. I mean, I think it speaks for itself how pretty it was. And as you can tell, those cirrus clouds were pretty much desolate at this point. So what a unit, man. Just such a cool aircraft. The auto F rate just kind of finished off the brightness there, so I apologize. Exposure, or not exposure, but I think that's the aperture setting. That's the word I was looking for. So really, really nice. And there goes that 747, and then the bank of the China Airlines Cargo was just stupendous as well. The BA got pretty far down there before it turned, but the China Airlines Cargo turned quicker. So very, very nice. I mean, just impressive to say the least. Sorry about the focus. It was so far out there. It was hard to get in focus for every shot. But this is why we take multiples, so we can get the right one. As you guys can tell, this was incredible. Another ANA 777. I didn't think we saw another one that quickly, but we did. This one's 794, and this must have been going out to Narita or Haneda, probably opposed to the other one. So the ANA desire has been fulfilled, to say the least, but it's really cool to get to see so many ANA operations. There must be a pretty big population in Chicago for that, so really cool to get to see that, and just really, really nice to say the least. Just a pretty shot right there, as you guys can see as my computer loads. Just trying to make a reason that I stopped on it, but obviously, we're progressively going through these incredible shots, to say the least. And I hope you guys are enjoying this video so far. Let me know what your favorite international heavy's been so far. It was really cool to get to ask everybody out. So let me know which one your guys' favorite is, because I would love to hear. So this one is out and about, and just a pretty aircraft, to say the least. And those banking shots were by far one of the best parts of Chicago. That was very unique to O'Hare. You rarely get to see it in that connotation. And just the frequency that Chicago outputs on these internationals is just super, super impressive. So really nice to get to see ANA right there, as my computer is not cooperating very well, so I apologize. Come on. Patiently waiting, and there we go. Now it's starting to make some progress. Very nice. And then into our next aircraft here in a moment. I took several. If they bank a lot, I was most certainly taking them. So really, really cool. There's another Metro right there. These things fly by all the, or not fly by, but you know, pass by all the time. So really cool to get to see that right there. Really nice. And then we had a United 737-900 as the 9s were really starting to get bad tail lit. But it was really cool to finally see an A321neo. This probably was an Anchorage flight, but it possibly could have been Los Angeles or Phoenix. So cool to get to see that right there as well. That's really nice. Republic 175, or excuse me, another Envoy 170. Excuse me, my bad, couldn't see it. Really cool to get to see Envoys 170 again. These are really cool planes, and I got to see two of them. They're all at Chicago, so it's kind of to be expected, but that's really nice. And then you have United 787-8. Again, really cool to get to see these. They don't have a ton of these. I think like maybe 12 or so, so really cool. American 737, and then you got the tower. This should be the South Tower with the United 737-900 looking great. Here's American 737 once again. They were really starting to get 2.2s utilized at this point, and then you have the beautiful Lufthansa Airbus A350-900. This is actually the only old livery I saw the whole trip, and it was out far in the distance. So very interesting to say the least, but I love the new livery, so it's all good. No, we're not looking at that pretty shot yet. Not quite. Here's United's Embraer ERJ-175. This is actually a Republic tail number, so cool to get to see these here at Chicago. You see more SkyWest, but some Republic just like that one. And a stunning shot of this United Airlines 757-200 in the Evo Blue livery. This is another stunner. Really, really pretty aircraft, and it's really cool to get to see this in this connotation right here. That's really, really nice. Take a look at how beautiful that aircraft is right there. What a pretty aircraft, man. That is pretty. Sorry about the me getting shaked off on the side there, but I guess I was just loving it that much. So really, really nice. That is a pretty aircraft. Really, really nice. American Airlines 787 service, probably Rome, London, somewhere in there. And the United 757 using 22 left for its departure. That was really cool. Could only imagine what that looked like on the other side. Another United and American, so that was American 737, of course, not too much to speak of there, of course. United, a really crappy shot, that's SkyWest 175, and then Sun Country 737-800 also making the appearance here. Very nice. And there goes the WestJet Dash, kind of flying into its fate here at Chicago, but man, it was cool that they made the service, so I can't blame them. They tried their hardest, so very nice right there. United Max 9 seen another one, so that's cool to see another one in the continental globe, and the 737-800, really nice. So really cool to get to see multiple. That made it the 900. I apologize. Another American 737 in the mainline persists, but here's the United 767. I think the previous picture was definitely better earlier in the day, but that was still really cool. And lastly, for this frame, before we move back into some video clips, we had the Southwest Airlines 737-700 in the Canyon Blue. I saw a lot of hard aircraft, not quite as many Canyon Blues, so it was really cool to get to see that one right there as well. And I think we had this shot as well of the Delta CRJ 900 taking off with the American 737 holding short. And then, was there any more? That was it for the moment. Okay, so we'll dive back into some video clips, and also one final note. This is one of the original Southwest 737-700, so really cool to get to see that. That's really nice.
Free. Free.
Get good pictures. Let's talk about
My camera's dead. Do you have a spare battery thing?
It's not. I think it's gonna take off next.
Absolutely.
Going to Minneapolis and the West.
Yes, sir.
Already spotting. That's him. How do you not know? I never met him.
Oh, Southwest Canyon Blue on the move.
My friends and some
Dude, man.
Alrighty, and here we go with our next round of aircraft. They just never ended at Chicago O'Hare. And let's begin right here with this Aer Lingus Airbus A330-300 in the old livery. What a pretty plane this is. So awesome. Like I mentioned with the new livery, so cool to get to see that one. And man, it was a super nice aircraft. And I think we end up getting a better shot of it on the ramp here in a moment. The Air Canada Airbus A320 in the new livery. I believe this is my first time seeing this an A320 new livery. So really cool to get to see that, even though despite the lighting, but still really nice. So very cool right there. United Airlines Airbus A319 with the pole Photoshop or photo bombing that one. What I was going to say is I hope I can Photoshop that out, but good looking aircraft to say the least, and that is a much better frame of the Air Canada A320. I may be able to work with that. Speaking of Air Canada, here goes that Emerald 175 we saw earlier. This guy's probably back out to Montreal or wherever that guy's going, Vancouver, somewhere in there, and then of course 320 is probably heading out to Toronto. And ignore my shower curtain, I need to work on that. Sometimes it falls over like that, so very nice if you guys could even hear that. Nevertheless, that is the Lufthansa Airbus A350 currently making its non-stop service in from, probably that was one of the Munich flights. I believe 2 daily for Munich and 2 daily for Frankfurt going into the, what was it? I'm sorry. The summer season, sorry. So there we go. Finnair's Airbus A330-300 is looking phenomenal. I ended up getting some pretty good banking shots of it despite it taking off on 9, but man, the lighting honestly was pretty reasonable considering, as you guys can see, how far over there it was. So beautiful aircraft. Like I said earlier, it was really nice to get to see the A330 since I've only seen the, what's it called before? The, yeah, there it was. The A350 for the most part, so that was really cool. And then we have the that's a NetJet Citation 680 Latitude. It's something like that. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Feel free to correct me in the comments. I'll take the blame on that one. But then you got a United CRJ 200 for Wisconsin, American 321 there in the background. And yeah, considering this was on runway 9, if my computer will load, I apologize. But yeah, the Citation looks really nice. The Finnair banking shot actually turned out really good considering how far out there it was. So this is one reason I highly recommend the Sigma Contemporary 150 by 600 mm lens. It is absolutely exceptional, and as you guys can tell, it can make or break opportunities like that Finnair, and I'll be excited to work with that shot here in the future at some point. United Airlines 787-10 never gets old. This aircraft was probably off to the, I'm just taking a guess with like Frankfurt or Munich or something like that, who knows. And United's Boeing 737-800 was looking stunning. This is a really good spot if you get the right frames. Like this kind of reminds me like Dallas spotting everything, when you have these stupid poles that you have to try to work around, but if you find the opportunities, you most certainly will get them here with the Dave & Buster's Garage. Obviously this is mainly a takeoff shot featuring this United 77-9, but you can most certainly improvise and get shots like that United 757, and even ones like this with the Emirates Boeing 777-300ER. This guy sat for a little bit longer than what the Qatar did. This guy sat for probably 2 hours or so, so nice to get to see him heading back. This is Echo Papa Whiskey, excuse me, and great to get to see Emirates again. I love Emirates, and as you guys can see, this is why this spot is really good, as my computer will hopefully load this phenomenal angle here in a moment. There we go. Huge reflection, but man, that is pretty to say the least. So there's different days where you'll probably get better angles in terms of the lighting and everything, but still a really nice aircraft, and what a stunner that is to say the least. Southwest's 737-700 in the Heart livery with blended winglets also looking good. I mean, honestly, I kind of would argue that there's no reason to go the Midway. You get plenty of variety of Southwest at O'Hare nowadays, and Volaris is cool at Midway to say the least. And a couple other airlines, of course. It's still a cool airport, very unique, but man, if you can get it all in one here, can't can't complain. United 787 push continues with this Dash 9. I'm sorry that I don't have any routes for this. I'll definitely try to work on that for the upcoming big airport spotting videos, if you will. And it looks like that United 737 was taken off and Southwest was waiting. And these are really cool angles to get. Just look at how green the trees are and just how flat the runway is, a little bit of a slope. So quite a unique perspective. And I even tried to go for a wallpaper shot. So hopefully that ends up coming out well here in the future. You guys won't be able to tell. Well, maybe you guys will be able to on the side, but this picture is in portrait mode. So that is intended to be a wallpaper. So we'll have to work on that in the future. Here's the China Cargo 777. This was really cool. And a Dreamliner from afar looking great. American's A319 with Sharklets. This is the second one. So we actually did see 2 of these. So that was nice out of all planes. As the computer loads up the next frame. Hope you guys are enjoying this video. This has been a blast. China Cargo is looking great. And let me know what you guys think about this format. I think it's a pretty good format. Perhaps I could have done better, but you know, for how many pictures there are, I think it's pretty understandable. 5007 Echo. I don't know how long it's been since I've seen that aircraft, but I probably have at some point. So pretty. Primary has a pretty big establishment here at Chicago O'Hare, and here's their 737-800 rocketing off for somewhere. And United 767-300ER is really cool to get to see these. And like I said, I finally got to see so much United. Plenty of 787s, plenty of you know, everything. 767s, only a few triples, but hey, I can't complain too much. I did not see a 333. Hope to see that sometime. Excuse me. There's the Aer Lingus A330 in the background. I think I get a better shot of it taxiing off the runway. This would be really good in the morning if you're looking for taxiing shots off the runway, because it would be nicely lit. And then the reflection, as you guys can tell, is definitely getting the better of the Aer Lingus, the Spirit, and the China Cargo. So, but this is kind of what Chicago's all about right here with this Neo, the China Cargo, and the Aer Lingus. This is kind of a really good variety shot. You got your, sorry about that. You got the mainline carriers, then you got some cargo action, and then you got Aer Lingus and then UPS in the background just to kind of finish off that perspective. And yeah, and then Cargo Lux bringing their 747-8 in to finish this frame off as well. Very nice. But Aer Lingus, of course, coming in from Dublin probably, so very nice. And Spirit, really cool to get these takeoff shots. There's some really nice jello off of those LEB engines, or I'm not sure exactly which ones the 320 Neo has, but I think 321's LEB engines. It's something like that. You guys know what I'm talking about. United 737-900 looking sharp as well. These really never got old. And here's Southwest's Heart livery 737-700 looking great. Oh man, that is a stunner. The China Cargo 777. The 10s were not getting used as much, but when they were most certainly doing well. And Chicago also built a new runway up there on the north side, so that kind of hurt the 10s as well. But at least we're able to get amazing shots still, like this China Cargo. And again, in the winter, the 9s would be great during this time of the day, or you know, in the early or late afternoon hours. So you know, there's some trade-off, but hey, I cannot complain. This was awesome. We got the BA 380. American Max soaring off to, I believe this was an Orange County flight, which is still really cool that I got to see that in real life, noting that I obviously have the model airport, and along with some other flights like this SkyWest 175. Maybe he was going to Reno, who knows. United 787-9, there's still a lot of them in the older colors. This of course is in the Evo colors, so it's nice to get to see that despite the focus just completely losing its mind. And then yeah, pretty good angle right there. We'll definitely be able to hopefully work with the denoiser and make a good shot out of that. And I think I may have had a little dust spot on the top left the whole time, so I completely apologize. Eddie Hod's Boeing 787-9 making the appearance. He also spent probably about 2.5-3 hours here on the ramp, so that was really nice. Alpha 6 Bravo Lima Kilo from Abu Dhabi to the world. What an awesome slogan for Eddie Hod 787, and we get a really good shot here in just a moment. Also keep in mind how the tug is actually on the front side, so I've always put it on the back. But how about that Delta A220 with the lighting? Of course, these guys park at T2, so they'll use the 10s pretty often, so really cool to get to see that. But yeah, really nice. That's awesome. Probably my best A220 shot so far. That's really cool. And then Eddie Hod's 787-9, that just screams a vibe, to say the least. That is awesome, man. I love that. That is really good. I got some really awesome captures, but man, that was awesome. We got some awesome sunset pictures ahead. Yes, I had to take a picture of the skyline again because the lighting was actually good now, and as you can tell, it's really nice. And the SkyWest 175 push was most certainly going. It's like Envoy 145, SkyWest Ember 175s, SkyWest 700s, they are everywhere. And here's a Alaska 737-900ER. This is my first A330 Neo as far as I'm aware. This is TAP Air Portugal, which is really cool to get to see. Theirs coming in from Lisbon, I believe, is where this guy's coming from. Really cool to see the registration under there, and it's ironically TUL, Tango Uniform Lima, Tulsa. There we go. Love to see it. That's an awesome reference right there, to say the least. Really cool. So this guy, of course, coming in from Lisbon, and he ends up leaving, I think, in like the 10, 11 o'clock hour, could be wrong, but very cool. Here's American 737-800, of course, making the rocket ship out of here. One of the original ones. That shot actually turned out really good. The Swiss Airbus A340-300. Really cool to get to see this. I believe this and that. There may be one other that's flying. Oh, Lufthansa's. Those are the two A340-300s currently flying to the Chicago area. It was really cool to get to see Swiss's. Now, that's a really cool shot right there particularly, but I'm actually going to go back to that front one because I wanted to just assess that real quick because that was a really cool frame with the sun. Was obviously, this was like probably 740 at this point, so the sun was definitely making its way down the horizon, but really cool aircraft. Very pretty. We ended up getting a really good shot here in just a moment of the aircraft banking. I'll show you guys that here in just a moment. It actually turned out really good. It sucks because the previous day it went on the 10s, as you guys saw in the baseball vlog, and we unfortunately weren't able to capitalize off that. That would have been really good from this location here at Dave & Buster's, but it's okay. We got an iPhone video, so that counts. Hotel Bravo, Juliet, Mike, Charlie, and I've not seen a ton of A340-300s over the years, so it's really cool, but I obviously pan back here in just a moment. Here's the United 737-900 in the meantime, and there we go. It honestly turned out really good. My great friend Aero Vincinacio, hopefully I said that right, got a really good angle of this down there on the ramp, or not, down there on the ground. There was a really good spot that they thought that they did not know if it would go 9 or 10. They chose, or him and some of his buddies chose to move over to the north side of the ramp, and it did end up going north, so that ended up working really well. So really cool to see that, and that's awesome to say the least. That's really cool. So they got a really good picture of it, and I thought that this still turned out pretty well, so I'm not complaining too much, but sorry about the focus. But yes, Swiss's A340-300 is remarkable, and it was really cool to get to see it in this connotation. Very nice. Sorry, my computer continues to load or be slow as per usual. Here's a SkyWest Delta CRJ-700 at O'Hare. I didn't even think we did get to see this. I thought it was Endeavor, but no, this is SkyWest. There's only like 5 of these, so that was really cool. I guess this must have been going to maybe Minneapolis, but possibly Salt Lake City. So that was that's quite a cool catch, to be honest. And a Spirit A320neo also looking very fresh. Here's the United A319, really crappy shot. I got a couple of those to say the least, but plenty of good ones. Along with this one, this is the Lot Polish 787-9 flying literally right overhead in some awesome lighting, crisp lighting to say the least. This guy, of course, making his service in as well. So again, like I said, I've got to see a lot of Dash 8, so it was really cool to get to see Dash 9 in a Delta A320 and an American 737 off 10 in some really good lighting. I think they were using mainly 10 left and center. Mike 34 houses now the United 737-900 that came in. This, of course, had the ANA previously, so really cool to get to see United there. There's a 550 for them. The skyline looking good. And did I have more, or was, or sorry, okay, it's loading because I don't know what the last picture I had on this particular preview bank was. American 737-800 push also beginning. That was another common theme, was all these 737s, as you guys have seen, and they never get old. And here's a SkyWest CRJ and another American 737. And my aperture was kind of going whack at this point. Kind of a unique situation, but hey, it did a good job, so I can't complain. Is that going to, okay, I believe that is the end of the bank for this picture, so we have quite a bit to dive into. This will be the, I think, second to last assessment of actual video clips and everything. So actually, we do have some iPhone pictures that I think I will have to narrate, so let's definitely dive into that because I'm really excited for that. Man, this is what it's all about right here. So here is the group picture of everybody that was there. This was like at 7 o'clock, so a couple people came and gone, of course, but man, just super cool. And I just want to give a huge shout out to everybody that was here because this was so awesome, man. I'm just so excited for upcoming meetups like this. This was so much fun. So really cool. And I'll just go chronologically down the list that I put up there in the beginning. So ACS 777X, you guys saw him previously in that video clip. It was so good to get to meet you, sir. He's on the left of me in this picture. I'm the 5th person, of course, with the white t-shirt right there that you guys may be able to see, excuse me. So that was really cool. Aero Vicinasco, super cool to get to meet him. He is an awesome guy, as you guys may be able to see on Instagram. He has an awesome following and takes some of the best aviation photos I have ever seen, based in New York, going all around the world. Highly recommend checking out his account. You would not regret it, and it's just so awesome. So thank you so much to get to meet him, and just awesome guys to say the least. And that goes for everybody here. It's so great to get to meet everybody. Alpine Aviation is in the middle right there in his white t-shirt, looking really good. AS Aviation was also there. He's on the right, as you can see from me, so really great to get to meet him as well. Of course, awesome guy. Been a huge fan of his channel for so many years, along with everybody else that has social medias here. Just huge shout outs. All the tags on there should be pretty applicable to their social medias, so be sure to check them out. Really cool to say the least. Very nice. Aviation 718 was in there as well, so great to get to meet him too. Great guy. Bangler Chuck was not here till until later, so I'll talk about that here more in a moment. Fanblade Aviation, great guy. He's a local Chicago guy. It was great to get to talk to him. Really, really nice gentleman. And it was awesome to get to meet and talk with him. So really appreciate that. Very, very nice. Funny Driver, again, great guy. Was at Airliners. Really appreciate talking to him, along with Irish and JJ Skippy too. So great to get to meet those guys. It was very much appreciated. Great guys to say the least. KORD.Planespotter, really, really nice to get to meet him as well. Very nice guy. Along with that, we also had O'Hare Planespotting. I got to talk with him for an extended period of time. Super, super nice guy, and just really appreciate his efforts and everybody's efforts to say the least. But his definitely were very nice that he chose to talk to me for that extended period of time, along with everybody else here too. It was a blast to say the least. And also WSAD1007. So good to get to meet all you guys. And again, if I missed anybody, please somebody comment below, and I'd love to pin that message for you guys because you guys most certainly deserve it. And this is what it's all about right here. Aerovis Nosco, hopefully I can find a screenshot, but he put a really, really good statement out there about what our community is all about, and I will definitely put that on here if I find it, because it was worded really, really well. It most certainly deserves to be on the screen at this time. So really, really appreciate it. Great guys, and just so good to get to meet all these guys, man. This was an absolute blast, and this was the funnest part of it all. Getting to see all the planes was so unique and such an incredible experience, but this is something that I've never got to experience before to this level, and just that was awesome. So I really enjoyed it, and just absolutely awesome. So really, really cool to say the least right there. That was awesome. Very, very nice. And just huge shout out to everybody that made this possible, and also huge thanks to the Chicago Spotters for giving us an awesome location to do our plane spotting, for arranging this, and just so awesome. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate everybody's efforts. That was incredible. And here's that Finnair A330. I took several pictures on my phone, and there was some models coming up that I got some pictures of to show you guys. So that just ended up being in here. So yeah, but it's really nice, as you guys can tell. I don't think it came out as good as what the picture here would suggest, but we'll make it work for sure. So I'm excited to edit those. Really nice Icelandair 757-200 Hecla Royal livery right here. This was a really, really nice aircraft, and it was so cool to get to see this one. I do want to say that I did end up getting to see this aircraft the following night in Denver, which was so cool. So this one I'm actually really interested in trying to find a model of now, because it is a very pretty livery. That was so awesome. Seeing a model of it was one thing, but then seeing it at Denver, it was so ironic. Definitely the best catch at Denver, most likely. But man, that was awesome. Be sure to stay on the lookout for that video, as that'll be coming in the future very soon. So really, really nice. Very beautiful livery with Hecla Royal. And this was a very interesting model to say the least right here. So this was, I believe, the Jet Air Flyer 737-800. I just thought the box was really interesting, a really neat model. So really cool. This is an Aviation 200 product, and quite a unique aircraft. This was obviously got at Airliners as well. So very, very cool hybrid, and I thought that was really nice. So that's why I chose to feature that, because that was a pretty neat aircraft to say the least. And then right here we have a beautiful ANA Star Wars 777-300ER. Really, really pretty aircraft, and really fitting the Chicago theme, as you guys can see, as there's so many ANA planes. So this was just a perfect connotation. That was really, really cool to get to see that right there. So very, very nice model aircraft. It was really cool to get to see these up here, and it was really nice to get to share these with you guys. So really, really nice. Very excited for this last round of pictures right here, because this is going to be, I may break it into two, I'm not sure yet, because of some subset pictures that I ended up getting on my phone, but I'll probably keep it consecutive, because man, it was a vibe, and this was literally the perfect way to finish this 6-hour plane spotting session. So let's dive into the details, and I promise in the future, guys, I most certainly will try to get some more video clips, because we did a pretty decent job, but I feel like the experience would have been even funner if I would have got more videos. So I plan to just buy a chest mount for my phone and just let it record the whole thing, because that would have been really nice. So, but yeah, let's dive into these details. It's going to be awesome, and I hope you guys are excited. Let's do this. Alrighty, into the next round of pictures we go right here. So beginning right here, we have the United Airlines Airbus A320 in the Continental Globe colors. Really looking good. Sun was going down. It was getting very pretty at this point, as you guys can see by that reflection. Very, very nice right there. That is pretty. Cathay Pacific Cargo's Boeing 747-8 freighter was making an appearance, looking very sharp to say the least. Be sure to check out the baseball log, where we saw the aircraft take off in some very nice conditions. Speaking of very nice conditions, this American Airlines 787-9 most certainly took advantage of those conditions, and man, it is looking super sharp to say the least. Love this aircraft. I think this was a service out to London's Heathrow International Airport. Man, that was awesome, and I never ever want to not take advantage of that crisp lighting for a 787 Dreamliner. And as you guys can tell, this American did a fantastic job iterating that concept in many ways. What a pretty aircraft. And sorry, my arms were definitely getting tired at that point, so the lens was all over the place, because man, that is a heavy lens after 6 hours. United's Evo Blue Airbus A319 was soaring to the sky along with this SkyWest CRG-700 for American Eagle. Very nice. And then here's the lot Polish 787-9 that just flew overhead. This guy just landed in, and man, the lighting just gets better and better by each shot. Oh my goodness, that is awesome. Take a look at that lighting. Wow, very, very nice on that lot 787-9. And here's the SkyWest Embraer ERJ-175. This camera definitely, I think, because it's getting a little tired because it showed a couple of fuzzy shots to say the least. Lufthansa's Star Alliance Airbus A340-300 came in. This was such a special plane for this trip because I got to see the Star Alliance not only here in this Chicago on this evening at O'Hare, but I also saw it 24 hours later at Denver, Colorado as well. And the even funnier part was they were different Star Alliance tail numbers. What a situation to say the least, but man, that was a unit. Very, very nice. And there's lot Polish's 787-9 making it in right there. That was Lima Bravo maybe, or Sierra Echo, something like that. And here's Lufthansa's A340 coming right in overhead. What a facility, man. That is awesome. United 757-200 Continental Globe making it out. Not a ton of 757s, but when they came by, they were really nice. And this was a really nice example with the Scimitar winglets. Very nice. Kind of surprised that we didn't see more, but I think during this time of the day, they're not quite as present as earlier in the day. I saw a lot of 757-300s when it came in the early afternoon hours, so quite interesting to say the least, but very, very nice right there, as you can see. TAP Air Portugal's A330neo was coming in, and man, as you guys can see by that head-on shot, that was a facility to say the least. Really, really nice. I don't know why I went portrait on this aircraft. I believe there was an aircraft coming underneath it that I wanted to get a shot of with it too. Yeah, there's the aircraft down there. You guys can't see it from this frame, but there was an aircraft down there that I was trying to get a shot of, and it was very unsuccessful until this one came around. This was the one I was looking for. There was one on the very bottom, but there was also one here in the middle that I was trying to get, and I would say it was kind of successful, but not quite as successful. So all good right there. And then I don't know if you guys can see either of the aircraft, but there are two aircraft on these shots, so that's kind of cool, but very, very nice. Back to the TAP A330, looking sharp. I love those engines. Those are really cool. Very, very nice skyline. Chicago, really, really pretty, man. That is awesome. And here's the Embraer ERJ-175 for SkyWest rocking out once again. A United 737-800 and this very nice Continental Globe A319. Still several of these Continental Globes. Really fortunate that I was able to get a spotting opportunity before Evo just completely came in and rained on the parade. So really, really cool to get to see that right there. That's awesome. Very, very nice. Several shots of that. And there was the Evo Blue 737-700 looking very nice, very nice. And then here's the Airbus A320 also looking very good in these very applicable and very acceptable lighting standards in my books. This was just very, very nice. So very proud of that. And yeah, and even look at the windows right there. You can see the I don't know if you'd like to call it just wear and tear coming off there. So really, really nice. And there's some sort of Republic Emerald 175 probably going out to Gordia or Boston. That was really nice to see right there. And Frontier's Airbus A321 finally makes an appearance. Quite a bit of wear on Seymour the Walrus. So unfortunate to see that his tail was wearing out quite a bit, kind of like some other Frontier planes. But this one was looking really good. And it was great to get to see this in this very nice situation. Take a look at that underneath side. This guy was rocking out of here. Really, really cool perspective and quite a unique one to say the least. Another SkyWest 175, because when the SkyWest 175 push happens, it's a push and it does not stop, as you guys can see. And I believe that is the last shot of this bank before we get back into some sunset pictures, because this was golden time, it was prime time, and this is awesome. So let's dive into that right now. Oh my goodness. Man, what a way this is gonna finish this spotting outing. I mean, oh man, this is just absolutely incredible. This is just such a vibe right now, and man, let's dive into this. So right here, man, it is so cool to get to see the Lufthansa Airlines Airbus A340-300 in the amazing Star Alliance livery. This is such a pretty aircraft, man. You can just see by that reflection on the fuselage how amazing it is. The engine, the tail, just such a beautiful aircraft. You don't get to see an A340 every day, especially after the pandemic. So to get to see this is so awesome, man. Just take a look at how pretty this aircraft is, man. From the main landing gears to the engines to everything. I mean, this is awesome, and it was so cool to get to see this aircraft. It was also just crazy to end up getting to see this at Denver the next day with a whole different tail number. That was just so crazy. So be sure to stay on the lookout for that content. But man, what a pretty livery. Super, super nice, and just wow. that's awesome. I'm speechless. That is so cool. Just one final view of that because that's super nice. You got Delta Cargo back there, the Air France facility, UPS's ramp. Man, that's awesome. What a pretty aircraft that is right there. Beautiful sunset, as you guys can tell. You guys know how much I love these sunsets, and man, this is awesome. You got the North Tower, some different hangars, the 747 down there. You got a 737 or an E-Jet landing. That's a vibe right there. That is awesome. Wow. And then this A319 taking off. Sure, it wasn't perfect yet, but just get ready, boys. It gets much better than that. But that's still a very neat shot, to say the least, right there. And the United Airlines Airbus A319 was taking it out. What a unit that is, and we've seen many of those. It was really cool that the sun set right on top of the Chicago O'Hare Tower, which was very unique, to say the least. This was really, really cool, and I got a much better shot on my iPhone, but that was quite unique, so that was really cool to get to see that. And a CRJ landing back there, too. Quite a unique situation, but very cool. Very, very nice. And then here's the Air Wisconsin CRJ 200 blasting off, because let's catch everyone. We're here. We got SD card space, and these CRJs just live it up. So there it is right there. What a unit, as you guys can see right there. And then another Southwest Airlines 737-700 in the Heart livery with Scimitar winglets. This is also a stunning aircraft, and like I said, there's just been so many of these at Chicago, and it's just so weird, but I like it a lot. It makes Midway kind of not irrelevant, but you get the full bang for your buck at O'Hare. And here's United 737-900 getting towed over. Man, just awesome reflection, really unique angle. We'll definitely need some Photoshop on that light pole, but outside that, we are in very good shape. What a beautiful plane. And boys, you guys may be able to see an Embraer 175 right there, and here she comes. Oh my goodness, these are really good, but that one is, oh my, man, you guys know how much I love geography, nature, and just sunsets and aviation, how our world is created through the aviation land, and just this is just incredible. This is such a rare opportunity. There is not many opportunities that this happens, and man, the fact that we got to observe this is just, oh my goodness. This is by far top 5 photos in my agenda. I mean, this is incredible. You got the North Tower right there on the left, the sun just setting on a beautiful Chicago evening, and then the Embraer 175 for United blasting off into the sunset. No pun intended. It does not get any better than that. Oh my goodness, what a capture. Aviation is just so beautiful in so many ways, and when you combine it with elements of our real world that sometimes we don't even realize can turn into memories like this, is just, that is awesome. There is no other way to put it. That is so unique, so cool. You guys know how much I love moments like this, and this is what plane spotting is made of. This is what we live for, and this is so cool. So what an incredible moment with the United M175 blasting off. Wow, man. That is awesome. I tried to get a shot with the United 737. It's not in the frame. It kind of blurred out. But nevertheless, this upcoming one turned out much better. Here's the United M175, and there was the double shot that I was kind of talking about. Really, really nice. My goodness, take a look at that. Evo Blue 737-700 blasting off into the sunset along with this Embraer 175. I can't see the tail number from here, but you guys can probably see it on the screen. We'd love to see it right there. That's awesome. That's so cool. Very, very nice. Stunning concho right here. I believe this actually comes up again here in a moment, so I'll leave it for the moment, but we'll be right back to it, so bear with me. But you guys will see why I choose to leave that for a different talking point. Really, really nice concho, to say the least. Beautiful sunset right there, man. Just what a vibe. It makes me so sad just looking at it and be like, oh my gosh, it's already over. But man, this is what we live for. More opportunities are coming in the future, and man, I'm so thankful that happened. United Airlines' Airbus A320 blasting off. What a pretty plane, and this picture right here says it all. You may not be able to see the full screen, but there's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 aircraft on final. Just incredible visibility at Chicago O'Hare's International Airport to be able to see that far out. And this is what Chicago's made up. They just boom, 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 boom. They land them all day, and it was just so cool to get to see all these landing lights on, and just, man, they were lining them up so cool. And then a little Cirrus cloud to finish that off too. That is awesome. That is so cool right there. There's the Lufthansa Star Alliance again, Cathay's tail back there too, looking super nice. And there's the final portion of the sun setting. Man, that was amazing. Another Southwest 737. They just do not stop. This one's a 921 Whiskey November prefix on tail number, and just really, really, really nice. Holy crap. That is awesome. I knew I had this shot, but I didn't expect it to come right there. Just First time seeing it on my computer monitor. I've seen the other one on the computer monitor, but this one turned out super well too. Right after sunset, the United Airlines Airbus A319 blast off, and man, that is so pretty. More navigation line or landing lights, excuse me, another 5 aircraft. Man, that is awesome. SkyWest 175 taking off, and I didn't get 320. And then just a beautiful frame right here with the A321. It looks like landing on the north side of the airport. That is amazing. Another American A321 IAE engines this time around. Really, really nice, and denoiser will fix that right up. And it's really cool. Finally, you can kind of see the atmosphere of Chicago and kind of all these cars and everything, what the airport apron looks like. Just really, really nice views, and I'm so glad I chose to stay because I was kind of contemplating. I didn't want to leave because everybody else wanted to go have dinner, but I was like, man, I don't get opportunities like this every day, and I knew that you never know, and I think you guys understand why I chose to do that because, man, that was incredible. Another SkyWest CRJ 700 blasting off, and Stars and Bars making its takeoff right here. Serves out the Phoenix Sky Harbors where he was heading out to. What a stunning aircraft. So glad to get to see it twice at Chicago. I saw it the next day as well. Pretty aircraft, and really glad to knock that off my bucket list because that's a pretty livery. Sure, it did bank really quick and didn't take off quite before sunset, but man, it's all good. United 737 was blasting off right there. Hopefully I get some better or some more shots of it too. Tab making the appearance. Royal Jordania was another reason that I chose to stay, and he was pushing back to take off and just get ready for that. And there's that 737-800 blasting off in a looks like an Envoy 175 looking sharp. Sunset really pretty, man. Southwest landing, and they line them up, man. I can't believe they don't have more gates. SkyWest CRJ taking off, or sorry, Air Wisconsin CRJ taking off because they're just everywhere. And again, another 5 aircraft. They just line them up. They don't stop. Take pictures when you can. American Airlines MAX. This was also really special. This was my first ever MAX that I saw, November 306 Romeo Charlie back in Washington Reagan in 2018. And to get to see this again at Chicago in this moment, I just saw the tail number. I was like, man, aviation is so ironic in many ways, and this is just a prime example. And I got to see this aircraft on Tulsa too to finish that all off. So to get to see it again is just so cool, and that is definitely my favorite MAX. So favorite MAX, November 306 Romeo Charlie, because what a plane it is, and it just makes appearances when you're not expecting it. That's why I love aviation. Here's 825 Alpha Whiskey and IAE A319 blasting off, and then a Canyon Blue. Southwest is everywhere, dude. They don't stop. We've seen like 3 takeoffs in 10 minutes, but here's their Canyon Blue 737-700 blasting off. And here's an Envoy 145, and these pictures were much sharper. I don't know why. Maybe that sun kind of messed with it, or maybe I was just finally relieved that we've just seen so much that I just maybe gained a little confidence at the end. I don't know. This is what I was waiting for the contrail for. So that previous contrail was a previous aircraft. I'm not sure what it was. I think it was a heavy of sorts. But this right here was so cool. So you guys can see, excuse me, we have a British Airways A350-1000 heading off from Austin to Chicago, or I'm sorry, to London Heathrow, and then a Falcon with the sun beaming off it, man. That was an awesome moment. Just take a look at that, sun beaming right off the aircraft. Sorry about the focus right there. It gets better. Wow. What a moment. That is awesome. You can just see how pretty it is on the contrail. There goes the A350. And then the Falcon, excuse me, that was awesome. That was so cool. And here's United 737-900 taking off. But man, what a vibe. And there's a double shot right there, sorry. And there goes Royal Jordania taking off. The shots didn't come out like literally crazy, but man, they turned out pretty good, so I cannot complain. That one was pretty good too, but the takeoff ended up being pretty good. United 737-900 taking off, and it was really starting to get dark, so we were almost finished, but man, I was like, we got Royal Jordanian, we definitely have to wait. And here was Iceland's Air Boeing 757-200 normal livery. Very cool to get to see one of these. I think this may be my first time seeing one, which this was quite a unique situation, but hey, I'll take it. It was really, really cool. We got to see the 80-year anniversary livery in the baseball vlog, so feel free to check that out. That was really, really cool. Royal Jordanian heading out right there. Really excited for that. And then United A320. Quite a few of those at Chicago, and there is another one, man. They lined them up to say the least. And as you guys can tell, really starting to get dark, but man, we were waiting on this Royal Jordanian because no matter what. And another aircraft we did get to see thanks to that was this Lot Polish 787-9. This guy was making its service. Maybe going to Warsaw. I'm not exactly sure. I think they have the other service too, so I'm not exactly sure, but this aircraft was looking really sharp. Really, really liked the livery. And again, it was really cool to get to see all these Dash 9s while in Chicago. That was a very, very cool element to say the very least. That was really nice. And then more beacons too. United Airbus A320, and night shots were really coming out pretty well. And there's an Envoy 145. United 737-700 taking some more there. And then here comes the Royal Jordanian Boeing 787-8 taking off. Man, this is awesome. I believe Jordan is where they're from. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But as you can tell, pretty dark. But there was actually a light pole over here at the Dave & Buster's parking garage that kind of helped me out. Let me see if we get some additional light here in just a moment on this. Let's see here. Yeah, so this one is pretty good right there. That actually turned out pretty well, but obviously the light pole, that kind of ruined that. But still, definitely can make it work out of the editor. Really, really nice. And that was literally the perfect international to finish on, man. That was awesome. Super, super nice. And man, just what a vibe. What a beautiful plane. And it looks so, so nice, as you guys can see it right there. That is absolutely awesome, to say the very least. That was incredible. And then I think this may be the last plane. I may have a couple more possibly, but here's a Evo Blue 757-300 for United Airlines blasting off with service, man. Really, really pretty aircraft. I know it's not the best picture in the world, but hey, getting to see this again was awesome, and it was so cool to get to see all these Evo Blues. 757-300s, that was awesome. There was another landing shot right there. Really cool. Sun really setting at that point. Little bit of light left. T5 looking amazing from that angle. There's another American 737. I'll shoot them till they're gone. And then this ended up being on the walk home, which we'll see the footage of here in a moment. But here's the Emirates 777 taking off. You know, obviously couldn't really see it that well, but hey, getting to see it here no matter what was awesome. And I believe this is the final shot. It's not a very good one, but that is the Qatar Boeing 777-300 ER taking off with service back out to Doha. Let me put on a better picture so you guys don't have to look at that the whole time. So yes, it was so cool to get to see all these aircraft, and man, it was just absolutely awesome. What a spotting day. Possibly one of my best spotting outings ever. I mean, that was incredible, and that was awesome. I really enjoyed it, and man, I just so thankful, so incredible for that opportunity. I mean, that was just incredible. I just don't even know how else to word it. So super thankful for that. That was awesome. What an incredible moment. Really, really awesome. And just, man, that was amazing. So I hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed that. That was so much fun, and we just had, what an incredible moment that was right there. Such a vibe, something that we'll look back on for so long, just be like, I can't believe that happened. What an incredible moment. And just to put it in one word, just unbelievable. I hate to use the word unbelievable because I know that word's common, but man, it was incredible. It was from every moment, from every aircraft to every lighting situation, everything. It was just so awesome. So I thoroughly hope you guys enjoyed this. This was awesome. We do still have a final clips to finish this up here, and then we'll be doing the outro. But man, just what an incredible moment. So many incredible planes, so many firsts for me, and just what an incredible spotting outing this was. This was incredible, maybe one of the best all time, and I most certainly will never forget this whatsoever. This was awesome, and man, this was so great. So we have an outro, or some final clips here, and then we'll do the outro and just go from there. I really hope you guys are excited for that, and let's do it. 5 hours of O'Hare plane spotting. Man, what a blast. 2,000 pictures later, so many footage and memories later, man. Dave & Buster's at O'Hare, man, highly recommended. So good, man. Just, man, incredible. Highly recommended. Man, this has just been incredible. I'm so excited for next year in Dallas, man. One more great day tomorrow of airliner. So excited. The content, guys, get ready. It's going to be incredible. But man, what a blast it's been. 5 hours of that was incredible, man. That was amazing. So excited for what's to come, man. So excited, man.
Man, guys, that may be the best plane spotting I've ever done. 5 hours. Got there at 4 o'clock and just right there at 9, and we're leaving, man. I'm excited for dinner, but man, wow, that was insane. Absolutely incredible. We're gonna get on the sidewalk here. We could cross right here. This may not be, yeah, we'll cross right here actually. But man, that was incredible. So cool, man. Love to see it.
Alrighty, so that will do for today's Chicago O'Hare International Airport spotting vlog. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. So sorry that it was really, really long, but as you guys can tell, there was so much to cover. You guys have been waiting for this, and I most certainly wanted to make it worth your guys' time. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this. It was so much fun. I mean, like I said, there with the final aircraft, just from everything, from the lighting to every aircraft to just every moment, it speaks for itself. It was so much fun. I'm so excited for more upcoming spotting opportunities. I most certainly want to make it back to Chicago Chicago just because of how strong the community is and just everybody there. It was such an incredible community, and it was just so cool to get to interact with everybody. Chicago is one of my favorite U.S. airports, and it was so cool to get to spot here in this connotation, this moment, this environment, this atmosphere. It was awesome. It was something I will never forget for the rest of my life. I'm so thankful for it, and what an incredible moment it is. This is what our community is about. This is what we do around here. Highly encourage you guys, if you ever get an opportunity to go spot at a big airport like this, or any airport for that matter, take that opportunity and enjoy every moment of it. Make every incredible creative shot that you can, and just enjoy our passion, because this is so much fun to get to watch all these airplanes, and it was so cool. And I'm sorry that this video didn't have more video clips and more, you know, different things like that, and I most certainly promise that I'll do better on that in the future. I was just really enjoying the moment. I hope you guys understand, but I'm very thankful that I was able to produce this, get to show you guys all these pictures, of course, and just all the videos and everything. It was so much fun. I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm so excited for what's to come, and I hope you guys are as well. It is just such an exciting time, man. I'm really excited for what's to come, and I really hope you guys are as well. So with all that being said, that will do for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon, as Redriveraviation is signing off.